Anyway, yeah. When I open my I'm going to start the video. When I open my school and stuff, it's most likely I'll be online or indoors, and you will have to do a live video, and I will be watching, or one of my instructors will be watching y'all. We can get that done. Anyway, back to the title: network access, physical layer, and throughput points. We didn't have all that. Put it in I freaking had to customize it. Anyway, we're going to talk about the access of network, how to use access network, and how that network applies to the TCP IP model, the OSI model, your hardware, and the connection type. All right. If you go on my last video, which I will have in the description, it will show you the RS layer model. When you go from the physical layer up to the data link layer, where most of the physical stuff, the bits is transferred and coded into the data link, which is the start of the network access layer. That's where the role to prepare the transmission happens right there. The data that's come from the bit is then hit with the proper preparation to control the flow of data from the data link layer to the layer above it. This is where the binary digits begin to encode into a signal. That signal is based on the universal standard of your area or the operating system in the international standard. You have to look up the international standard of network. Now, people are going to say that the internet was invented by the government of the US government, but it was actually invented by people who somehow are going to work for the US government. I don't even know how that happens. But anyway, Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates. We're not going to talk about those, but the operating system. Anyway, the data link layer has the purpose of identify the role of the physical layer access to the network layer. Now, the physical layer tells how to transmit the data onto your physical device. The data link tells the physical layer how to access and transmit the data on a network layer. I'm going to get that away. Physical layer, how the bit or information gets on to your device. Data link layer, how the physical layer information get access to the network. I am really trying to break this down. I understand it myself. I barely understand it myself. I understand it, but I don't like it, so I don't understand it. Now, depending on your physical connection, your computer or what internet right you have, there's many ways, as I discussed in my other videos, where I discussed the type of internet options. If you have wireless internet, there's like access point your wireless capability come to. There's your computer, there's access point in your house, and then there's access point outside or apartment or under a rock. Who knows? I take my chance under a rock. No lie. Built my internet up. Anyway, when you have a wireless internet, how far you are away from that access point will how good your speed be. That's just the base of it. And then there's your equipment that you have that you're using on your internet. And then there's the type of access point you have. And then there's how many people on it. And then there's how far away from that point is to the next one. And then there's the type of service you have. And then there's if they throttling you or not. Have fun. Um, there are switch devices. The switch controls the data flow. I'm going to knock that away because most people don't know what it is. This is one that I don't have to remember. Switch control data flow. The switch itself is like half duplex or full duplex or simple duplex, which is how what information come in. Does information come into you, or does information come out from you, or does information come in and out? You should tell that also help determine speed, which is the switch. Um, certain switches have multiple ports on it. Just think of having a router and those ports on the back of it is a switch. When I think of a big box with a switch, and in that box it has data flow in and out. Now I would get into telecommunication service provider. This is one of the jobs I hate doing because I hate stupid people and I hate unnecessary stupidness. When we're gonna skip at the telecommunication center, there's a switch in the background where a call come in. Usually it used to be manual, where you had to switch this over, call come in to me. I want my call to get to this person on that switch, a person there to see it. They hit that switch over for your call again. Now it's automatic, and the only thing people really have to do is just maintain it from overheating. Congrats. Now back to the network access. On everything with internet, there's a network interface card. There are about four types. There's the wireless network interface card, which is the computer I'm on only have. I'm gonna install a internet network interface card, and then there's a both that has both of it in one little cord thing. Usually, it's like a green box. You can be able to see it. It said that I'm not gonna get on electrical engineering, but if you can look through the parts of it, the most complicated part that no one can understand is usually the network interface card. We're gonna skip that. Like smartphone have wireless network interface card in it. Congrats. TV have a wired internet network interface cards or wireless. It depends on have both. Yeah, I'm trying to make it down. Now, switches help regenerate your network. Like I said before, um, as a hard line. Now, as a wireless signal, if you have like a booster or access point or outer access point, which is how people are hacking me, is that will help your wireless bit regenerate because not going so far out and stuff. It's going there, get regenerated, getting going out again, or coming back in again. That's how you boost your signal up and get better signal. But in the day, it depends on your internet service provider, how your internet set up, how you set your stuff and equipment you're using. Congrats. Now we're gonna get onto the back on the RSI model. I'm putting these together because they are make sense with each other. Um, Now the network access. Let's go back to the physical layer of RSI model. The data come from the physical layer to the data link layer to the layer after that into the transport layer. I don't know. The transport layer segments your data from the physical layer to the data link to the network layer and to the transport layer, and then it segments the packets that it received from the data link layer, which become an IP address in the network layer. Yeah, I know. Congrats. The whole purpose of the physical layer is just encode the information to the data link so it can choose what type of signal it goes in electrical, optical, radio wave. The best one you want is always optical. If you're going to use electrical, get one of the most expensive coaxial cord or high grade coaxial cord, high cat cord, and high grade equipment, fun stuff. Remember, because bit information is when they segment, it's in that one at a time. Full duplex, half duplex, or not. What will determine your speed will be the equipment you use, how fast it's going out, how fast they are going out in a row. Now, like I said in another video, the copper cable is electrical pulses, fiber optic is light pulses, wireless is microwave transmission. These are the network media of the physical layer representation for the bits. Physical layer. I'm not gonna get into how the signal and bandwidth and throughput and goodput yet. Most of the world use a universal standard when it comes to how these are read. This is how your internet go from here to Russia or Russia to EU and to China and all that bullcrap. Wow. Um, how these bits of data is represented in the data link layer as a frame complete will be determined. How do I set it up? This is their International Internet Task Force? Who knows? Don't know. Institute of Electrical Engineering? I don't know. There's so many freaking bullcrap names. The physical layer is your component, the encoding process, and the signal process of what kind of hardware you have. We're not going to talk about hardware and devices because I'm gonna have to do a whole full setup on that. Trust me, it won't be a setup out. Actually, you just be the way you set up. I'll like I said, make my own stuff. When on the physical layer, when you convert the stream of data into a predefined code, bits, the sender and the receiver have a Morse code going back to like, is this me? You sure it's me? Are you sure it's you? Yeah. And then once it was sent and received, that's when the process, start doing the whole process. Once you get verification, which is how hackers get in because they pretend and they were signal receive. I'm not gonna get into full detail of that video, but there you go. The basic Manchester encoding is 10 bits per second internet. That is the basics. Congrats. You stuck download 1 gig for the next 3 years. And then the when you get in the Manchester older version of the internet, but it's a little bit faster than that, but not fast. Like you want it is the 10 base dash T, which is the network interface code and the interpretation of the bits. And then there's the Internet 100 base family, and then there's the 1000 base family, and that use bytes encoding, which is faster. Congrats. I just confused myself on it because so unnecessary, stupid universal program. Anyway, now there's throughput and good put of this. This is the port of bandwidth of those signals. Throughput is the measurement of bits across the media at a given period of time, meaning that it can affect your speed. It's not like good put or actual put and stuff, but it can affect your speed from your physical layer, which is you, the computer, to the end of the application layer until them. It only affect your speed will become the good put, which is the actual speed, and that's a whole different stuff. What affects your throughput is the amount of traffic you have going, the type of traffic you're going, the number of devices you have between you and your destination of where you're gonna go. I said in another video when you route print or ping or tracer, the information that pops up on the commands would tell you how you're going. If a hacker or idiots on your stuff, you should be able to see if you know your internet's slow when it should be, it's something on your end or their end. There's two options, your end, their end, or being hacked in. There you go. Latency usually means a delay in time. When you have like a whole lot of people, you're gonna be slow. A whole lot of connections too, you're gonna be slow. The next measurement is good put. This is the usable data over a given period of time. This is not the including the traffic, like the amount of traffic, the type of traffic, and the amount of devices. You going through the session layer, the acknowledgement that you actually get on, the encapsulation of the packets of bits. Now, I'm gonna be simple. I'm not gonna get into the other one because that's like a long section. Throughput measures the bit across the media over time. Good put is the actual usable data over a given bit of time. So when you use throughput, this is the amount of data over a given period of time. Then you use good put to measure the actual amount of usable data, because this is how you lose data. There's a third one which I'm going to get in its own category, and I'm going to bring these two back up again. I put those three together due to the fact that the physical layer, the type of signal, and the items you're using, and the throughput, good put, are the basically in that same ballpark. Anyway, bye. I'm gonna have my notes down there in the description, so you can get better.